yeah, I was just going to finish off. I was just going to finish off my conversation just before I start with this other article. Um, I found the article. I'm just going to find it in this magazine from this Tots Tots the Teens magazine. I did find the article. I'm just fucking it through before I just where did I find it? It was in here somewhere. Oh, sorry guys, I did have my finger on it just before. Says that what happens when the enemy doesn't want you to talk about things online. You know, he wants things to be shut up and kept quiet. Unfortunately, he's not going to get away with much longer when Jesus comes back to sort out all this, sort out our lives. Here it is. Here it is. It's gender. I'm just trying to find the gender identity 101. But I just wanted to finish off with my other video, just saying, you know, a few parents, whether, you know, anywhere around the world, if you parents know yourselves that your that your children, that you totally definitely disagree on what your child's children or your students have been taught in the way of sex education in a very wrongful way. I just reinforce the message that you parents have the right to take your children out of that school. Maybe for your high school students, you know, just take them out of that classroom. But again, if you parents, you know, I'll say the real feel. If you parents know that there's something wrong, with your children's teaching in the way of sex, or you know, anything that's been taught wrongfully. And I know many schools are now are actually putting these wars up between the family and the children now, so that if say for example, if your son or daughter wanted to change their genitalia for something else, you as a parent is not allowed cannot have a say in any kind of that garbage. And that's why I think there's been a huge downfall regarding these issues, because there's been no proper discussions, there's been no proper talk about these things openly. You know, I think in this society, I don't think things will go back to normal. Things are going to get worse, and I think we're pretty much living in these last days before Jesus comes back, and it's an inevitable proof what's happening in our day and age. Whether doesn't matter what people's views are. I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm just saying it from a person who reads the Bible. I believe that Jesus is going to come back sometime soon. I don't know when. I don't know how. You know, no one knows the day nor the hour. We can't predict the day or a date of Jesus' return. We can't say, oh, he's going to come by this week or that year or something else like that. No, that's not for us to determine. It's for us to continue just to be in the faith and to speak up for you know, all these issues that we're all facing at present. But I just want to show you guys this article here. I won't read all of it. I'm just showing you what's part of this Tots and Teens magazine back in February this year. I'll just read this first paragraph here. It just says here, as society grows more receptive and accepting, well, whatever that means, our children are becoming. I'll read it on the screen here, so you guys can probably. I know you guys can read it, but I'm just reading it just to sort of reinforce. what I'm saying. As society grows more receptive and accepting, our children are becoming more open and fluid about their identities for parents. This can feel challenging to navigate, but most important thing is that our kids feel loved, supported, and safe. Well, I don't think I'm going to say this pretty bluntly. I'm not here to judge anyone. Our world is not safe. Our world is not what it is at present. I look. I'm not here to judge any person or doctor or any family. Our life is not. Our world is not safe at present. We're living in these last days before Jesus comes back. What we have seen in our society is a huge division over many issues, especially with this garbage that's been pushed onto our kids. And no, I'm not blaming the children for what they've been taught. I think there's been a huge downfall in society and breakdown. You can even actually look back in the prophet Jeremiah in his day when the Lord Jeremiah was saying, "No, Lord, I don't want to deal with Israel anymore. They continue to sin against you, and they continue to not listen to you anymore, Lord." But in the end, the Lord still loves Israel today. But you see, I'm just giving Jeremiah as an example of a nation who didn't want to know a bar about God. They wanted to continue to follow in their sinful ways, to continue to follow the pagan idols of the nations that surrounded Israel in their time, in the rule of King Nebuchadnezzar. And it's we see so much division, not just in today, but it's been happening since in biblical times. It's been happening ever since what the first murder was with Cain and Abel. So we're seeing all this plethora of division. Satan just loves it because he thinks he can get away with anything he wants, but fortunately. The enemy's not going to get away with much longer, because what we're seeing in this world is a huge is these very last times of earth. So I was just showing you some of those articles about what's been going on our country today. Don't have anything else to talk about at present, but I just want to encourage all you dear believers, brothers and sisters, keep in the faith, stay strong. I think the church needs to start doing deliverance ministries itself, and I think it's a major wake-up call what the church needs to do in the way of, I'm sorry to say this, but I believe it is an actual calling for us to get rid of evil spirits upon people's lives. I'm considering being a deliverance pastor, and look, I'll say this pretty bluntly. I can understand that the Bible does teach that we are to look in our own logs and our own eyes. I can fully understand that, and we're not to judge. We're not to judge anyone, which I do fully understand that. But you get to a point such as myself, where you get attacked by nicotine every day. You're getting attacked by nicotine in our society. You're getting attacked by nicotine in your own family. I'm sorry to say this. I believe God has given us the authority to cast out demons from people's lives. And I'm sorry to say this, dear believers in Christ. I know it's gonna be such a controversial subject. I know it's a very thing that the church will not deal with, but it is going to have to be a church issue and a church problem to deal with soon, because the church does need to actually start recognizing what many of these drugs are doing many psychoactive drugs are doing, that they are not. They are not working for many people's lives. They're actually opening themselves up to, when people have unrepentant sin, they open up doors to Satan in their life. I'm not judging anyone who takes psychoactive drugs. Whatever works for one person may not work for another. But I'm just saying, as a whole view, about psychoactive drugs, if they're not being properly monitored in your own household, if they're not being properly looked after properly. I'm just going to say this. I believe that some of these psychoactive drugs are not all cracked up to be in society. I think Satan can actually have a good game mind, have good mind games about these issues in this country, because I'm being faced with it in our own household at present. So I just want to say to all you guys, just continue to be in the faith of Christ. Sorry guys, I'm just taking myself in. Just be real with God. Don't let the enemy take your life. Don't let him continue to take your family's life, whatever it is. If it's I think in this day and age, you Christians can actually fight against cancer. You guys can fight against any form of deadly illnesses and disease. I think you guys, as Christians, if you guys are going through much warfare at present, especially in our own household at present, fight against what's attacking you. If it's nicotine or any other substances, you can speak your life, you can speak life into that cancer or situation and say, no, cancer, you get out of this. You get out of my life. You do not belong. You have no. I reject you. Just doing what God is commanding you to do. Getting rid of all disease. Tells us in Matthew 10 verse 1 that Jesus Christ has called his disciples, his 12 disciples, to cast out demons and to heal all kinds of illnesses and diseases. And it's all kinds. Any disease could be nicotine, it could be cancer, it could be anything. That the enemy is trying to destroy your life with. Whatever it is. I believe the enemy is trying to destroy life, and he's trying to destroy the enemies, trying to destroy the Christian, the church as well at the same time. And I believe it's time for the church to actually recognise. I think deliverance is a huge ministry that needs sorting out. And then I'll be talking to I'll be saying something in front of our church in the next little while about this, if I have to go to see my minister about this after church and say, oh, what's all this going on about this? I'll say, well, I'll just be saying it bluntly to my minister. Well, I'm sorry to say this to my minister, but I have been attacked by nicotine in our house. Been attacked by nicotine spirits. Blair's, the individual in our household has been talking to evil spirits in our household, and if it gets to the conversation, if our minister doesn't want, our pastor doesn't agree about what's been going on, and I think, in hindsight, you have to really just ring up the local authorities and actually, if it has to go through some kind of legal process and stuff like that, it has to be like that, because everyone's got to give account in this planet, but getting a drug from a doctor and keeping yourself to yourself and then passing nicotine onto others, I do not believe that's acceptable in society anymore. Again, I'm just saying this to reinforce it. Sure, everyone has medications for different uses, but to inflict pain and suffering from one person to another and keep yourself to yourself, I don't believe works anymore. But anyway, guys, I love you and leave you and love you for now. I may do the next one for the next little while. I'm trying to take my technologies days more lesser in this time. All right, guys, I'll catch you later. Bye.